Hello everyone. So in the last video we saw how to create a custom button using Ribbon Workbench, and if there are two tables which are interrelated with each other, let's say account and contact, then we created a functionality to delink them. So just to show you, let's come here. This is the sales trial. If I go to any account, in the last video normally we added one subgrid. If I open this account, and in the subgrid we created a custom button. Let's say I think here this is the tab. If you want to know more about that video, I'll give you a link. 1 second. So here if you select any of this record, this is a subgrid, this is a separate tab. It can be included in the summary tab as well. So if you select any of the record and if you click on the unlink, what it will do is it will just give you an alert. So are you sure you want to unlink both of them? And if you click on yes, it'll take some time and it will unlink both of them and it'll refresh the page as well. So hold on. Okay, so contact record have been deselected and it's going to refresh the page. Okay, this was the functionality which was implemented in the last video. So if you want to know more, you can just come here. I think the video power dynamics, and it will be uploaded soon here. I think this is the video, the same so I have provided the code as well, how you can link them, unlink them, everything. Okay, in the blog also, if you can come here, some of them you'll be able to see the code as well. Okay, so now coming to the current scenario, which is now I want to show this button. Let's say right now the condition was it was visible as soon as you select 5 records, 1 record or 10 record, whatever, this button will be visible. But now the condition is like it should be visible only when 1 record is selected. Okay, and also 1 second, and based on some field values. So let's say we have this account form here, right? And let's say we have in account we have a status called active, deactive, on hold, completed, anything you have. Okay, so here I have created a custom field called account status. So now my requirement is like, let's say whenever this account status is closed, at that time I do not want any modification in the form. So at that time this unlink button should be hidden. Okay, even if the case is selected, this should be hidden. And now let's say if you open any account and if this is active or on hold and all, then you can do the modification. This button you can add other contacts, you can link, unlink them, whatever it is. Okay, so for that what we need to do is we need to create another JavaScript to show it. So first of all, this is the solution. The last time I think it was unlink button here. This is the entity, and we created a different solution. In that solution we added this account and contact. Now I'm going to use the same solution, and you need to have this Ribbon Workbench. Okay, in case if you do not have, you can just go to my blog here and you can find somewhere the button, like the way from where you can download the link. I think it should be here. Trigger the button. Okay, so you can just refer or you can just Google it and you should be able to download it. Here you have it, I think. Yeah, download the link here. So you just download it and install it in your solution. So once you install it, if you go to your solution, you can see this Ribbon Workbench here. Now to install this also, you can go refer some videos. I think I have also uploaded one video. So once you click on this, it will open it, and once you open it you just select your solutions. In the solution it should not have any other components except that contact or account entity. Okay, now here if you see, this is the button. Okay, no, not this one. We added in the subgrid, and subgrid was actually we are working in the account entity, but here this all the functionality we are doing in the subgrid. So this is a little bit complex. If you want to work on just on the account form, you can come here, and this is the account form, but right now we are working in the subgrid of contact. So make sure that you are opening the contact entity here, and this one is okay, this is fine. In the command, if we see, we have last time, okay, so last time we had used crmParamater, selected control, selected item IDs. So this one was it was just taking all the record GUIDs. Like here if we have multiple records, contact records, so whatever is selected, it used to take the GUID of all those records and it used to pass in the here in the, as a crmParamater. Okay, hold on. Now the first requirement, like which is it should be visible only when at least 1 record is visible. So I think we have the enable rule. Earlier it had selected minimum as 1, but maximum was left as it is. So just select it as 1. Okay, now it will be visible only when 1 is selected. If you try to select 2 and 3, and then if you try to unlink all of them, it's not going to happen. The second requirement is it should be, where is it? It should be, what was it? Forgot it, 1 second. Okay, so it should be visible based on some field value. So we have the account status, and this is the drop down value, drop down field, right? So it is going to be having some value like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, something like that. Just go to your solution, and you can go to your form or the field. There you can get the value. To get the value, you just come here. I think, let me just open the form, and we have already developed one JavaScript. So I'm just going to add the function in that JavaScript itself. So here, let me just, it was cells inside. Let's make it as a tab. Now the main part lies here itself. First of all, we need to get the that drop down value, like option set value. So this is the field, and here, if you go to the details in the edit section, okay, so if you see, I want it on the closed. On the closed, it should not be visible. On the active and on hold, it can be visible. So it is 459430002. Just copy it. I'm going to close it now. Close it now, and make sure your form is loaded here. So if you go to the form properties, this is the classic view. You can do it from the Power View as well. So here you can see in the form properties, this CR9F4 resonance. This JavaScript is already added, web resource. Okay, so make sure this is added. Once this is added, now let's come here and see the JavaScript. Okay, so I have already written the JavaScript. I'm going to show you. 1 second. I think I have it here. So here you can see the function name is enable delink button and execution context. Now the reason for making this video is this works pretty fine. Okay, if you are trying to get any value, like, see, I'm getting account status, yeah, this field value from this execution context. This will work fine, but when you try to access this function from the Ribbon Workbench, it's going to give you error. That's why I'm covering this video, and I'm going to show you how to rectify that as well. So right now, this function, what it works is, this is enable unlink button. You can give any name. It is passing the execution context, and this is console log. I'm just checking whether this function is getting invoked or not in the console. And we are having try and catch. So in case try, what we are doing is we are getting the form context, we are getting that field value, account status, and we are checking if that account status value is whatever we had copied earlier, right? The value, if it is equal to this or not. If it is not, if it is equal to this, then we are returning true. Means we are this function will return true, and the button will not be visible. Okay. In case if it is not, what is this? If it is not equal to this value, then it is going to be visible. Okay. Now catch error. In case if there is any error in this one, then we are going to catch the error and show it in the console or in the front as well. Okay. So let's just copy this one and come to the form properties. Either you can add it from here, or if you go to your solution, where is it? In the web resources, you come here. Hold on, it takes some time to load. So this is, either you can create a new web resource or JavaScript, or you can add in the existing one. So I'm just going to add in the existing one. That is fine. Just make note of that function name. Okay, so text editor. Okay, so this is deselect contact. Okay, this is the earlier one. Okay, if you want to know more, just go and refer the video. So I'm just pasting it, and if you take this enable link button, okay, I'm just copying this function name, copy it. Okay, click on okay, just save it and publish it. Okay, so this form context, it is going to work properly on the form. Okay, let me add it on the form as well, just to show you when, at what point it's going to throw an error. And for this we need to add another code. Okay, so right now we have added this function. Let me just, I think it's published, and we have Ribbon Workbench, right? So in the Ribbon Workbench as well, we need to add another rule now. So this is for selection. When one record is selected, now what I want is, I want to be visible. 1 second, selection count, add step. I want to show it based on the field value. So here we have the custom rule. Okay, And what is the function name? Function name I've already copied. And the library, I think we are going to use the same library. The command we have this one, right? Control C, come here and give the library name. Okay, so now this is done, and make it as true. By default it is going to be true, invert false. Let's publish it. Okay, now it's going to take some 2 to 5 minutes depending upon your internet speed and the region. So meanwhile this one is publishing. Let me come here in the form, and this one is updated. Click on OK, save. Okay, sorry, here I need to add it on the form, so that actually it is not needed, but just to show you the error I'm going to add it here in the form properties. We have form onload, right? So form onload, just click on add, give the function name. Okay, not this one. Here we have this one, and the function name was, what was it? Enable delink button. Okay, coming here, control V, control on. Okay, we are passing the execution context, right? So click on this, click on OK, click on OK, and let's say if you try to publish it, I think it's going to throw an error, because okay, right now it is not publishing, so it should not give you any error. If I click on publish, normally when one thing is publishing here, it will not allow you to publish any other component at the same time. Okay, so okay, it is throwing error, so let's wait. I think here also publishing is going on, import export something is going on, so let's hold on for 2 minutes, and then I'll resume the video. Okay, so now it is published. You can see the publish is successful. Okay, fine. Now let's come here and publish this one. Once this is published, let's come here, conf fi, and I think we have added this console.log, right? Function invoked. Okay, so coming here, let's add some contacts here first. Right now if you come in the tab here, there is just one record, right? There's just one record, and if I come here, I'm going to add some more contacts. Let's keep the name as just ignore and save it. Okay, click on tab. Okay, now you can see it. So if I click on one button, this is not, okay, now unlink button is getting visible. If I click on this one, this button is gone, right? So the first functionality is working fine. Now let's say if I'm clicking on this and if I'm trying to unlink. Okay, so here the functionality was, if it is on close, then this button should not be visible. Okay, this button should not be visible. So let's come here and make it closed. Click on save, and let's see if this button is visible or not. If I select one, still it is getting visible. So now let's see where it is doing wrong. Let's enable the developer tab, and I'm going to just reload it. Let's just hide this unnecessary. So the same function is added on the onload form as well. So if there is any issue, it's going to throw here as well. So right now, if you see account status value, it is showing 4594 whatever, it's 002. Okay, this is what we are showing here, right? We are getting this value and we are showing, adding into the console.log. It is showing perfectly fine. But why is it not still working then? Why it is still showing this button? Okay, the reason is also, let me just add a debugger right now. Go to your form, that is it. In the debugger, we'll be able to see where it is failing and where it is not failing. Okay, so okay, right now let's go to the tab, and if I select anyone, it should be visible here. If there is any error, unauthorized access, uncaught in promise, not this one, not here as well. Okay, so coming here, go to your file. Okay, so now the main part relies here only. Okay, you don't have to be in a hurry. You need to know the concept why it is not loading. Okay, So debugger, whenever you're stuck at anything, just add a debugger and check where it is not working, where it is passing the value and not. Okay, so let's publish it. Stop recording. Okay, once it is published, okay, hold on, let me just refresh it now. If it is working, then on load itself it will show a debugger. Okay, not yet published now. Okay, see, as soon as it loads, it is showing that this debugger option is coming. Okay, let me just do this one. Okay, now this is the function which we are triggering, right? If I click on the next, it's working fine, going fine, execution context. Okay. I think it may not be visible to you, so just extending it to the corner. Okay, going next. Okay, so right now it is onload form, the same function, it is being called on the onload form. Okay, so here you can see it is already getting this account status is 459, it is getting this form context, client API executor and all, it is getting, right? And if you see, it is going in the true, false, whatever, it is running properly, it is getting all the value. Now if I stop this, onload form is done, and now if I try to see why it is not working on that, when we are selecting that record in the account, right, the subgrids, coming here, go to the tab, on the close, that button should not be visible now. So let me just select any one of them. Okay, now if I select it again, the debugger should hit. So not hitting. Let's see in the Ribbon Workbench what we are doing wrong. Web resource, enable unlink button. Okay, if I select this, if we select this and click on unlink button, 1 second, let's check in the Ribbon Workbench if we have done any mistake. So if we come here, this is the enable to true, false, we have this. I already added the function name, which is exactly enable unlink button. Okay, and the library. Okay, this is enable to. If we come to the command, okay, so make sure whenever you add any display rule or enable rules, you add in the command. Okay, whatever you have made this display rule or enable rules, and if you're not adding in the command, then it is not going to make any effect. So this is what I think was the mistake in my case. So let's come here and click on the add enable rule, click on the new contact enable rule 2. Okay, now both the rules are enabled. Just come here and click on publish. Once you click on publish, I think now it is going to, so now it is going to trigger this function enable link button based on that from the Ribbon Workbench, whatever. Let's see, let's let it load now. Well, it is still publishing the solution. Let's hold for some more time. Okay, so it has finally published successful. Let's go to the account, and now the function should get triggered on both the places, on load and whenever like a button is getting loaded. Okay, so here positive debugger. Okay, let me show you. It's getting all the values. Where is it? Let me just extend it. Okay, click on next, 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 next. Okay, if you see here, we are able to get that form context and account status, everything. Okay, now let me just stop this one, and I'm going to select anything from any this contact. Okay, and if I can't select any of this, it's going to, 1 second, that selection should be enabled. Hold on. Okay, shit, I think there is something with this dynamics, it is responsive. So okay, got it. So if I select this one, as soon as I select here, it should trigger the debugger. still not triggering, so it's not at published or what. Let me just refresh it, give a hard refresh. The form has loaded. Let's go to this one tab. Let's close this one as of now, and let me select any one of this. It may take some time to, okay, right now you can see that it is triggering this debugger, okay, this function. So in the earlier, whenever it was loaded on the form, we are getting all the value. Now if we go to the console, I think it should show some error as soon as I play this one, but let's see what value it is passing first. If you go to the source, if I click on the next, let me just go to the next. Okay, so this is the main problem which I was talking in the starting, right? Here you can see form context, it is showing undefined. Execution context, it is showing as undefined. Account status, undefined. But while loading on the form, the same function is triggering very nicely. It is getting all the value, it is getting the form context, everything is working fine. But when the same function is getting triggered from the Ribbon Workbench, it is not showing any value. This is the problem with this one. Okay, so now the solution for this is, let's close this debugger. Solution for this is, instead of using this enable link execution context, see earlier we used to use that something xrm.page, okay, but now that has been depreciated, so we mostly use primary control. So that is, primary control is nothing but a crm parameter. So here if you go to the Ribbon Workbench, you can see the crm parameter. Earlier we used selected control, selected item IDs. Same way, here if you go to contact enable role something, here we have the option of add parameter. So we need to pass the execution context directly from the crm control, sorry, from the crm parameter here. So you need to come here, you need to select the primary control. Okay, now this primary control only is going to work. You don't have to write pass the execution context. So instead of this execution context, we can write primary control. Okay, and if you want to know more about this primary control, then I have one more video where we I think where I showed about, what was it, trigger button. Yeah, the trigger button on the button click, and then how to map the fields from this power, what you call the Dynamics 365, SharePoint, and the Microsoft Word. A lot of things was there. I think there are total 3 videos of the same. So here also I was using the primary control only to pass the value in the Ribbon Workbench. So if you come here, now we are passing the primary control. So what we need to do is, let's publish it. Meanwhile, it's going to take some time. Okay, now in the code, if you come, we just have to change this execution control to primary control. So here I have already written the code. Here also you can see the function name enable link, it is primary control. So now it is instead of showing that undefined and undefined and all, is going to give the proper value. So just copy this one, control C. Okay, and this primary control is nothing but we use it to pass the execution context from the Ribbon Workbench. Otherwise, same way, it is going to throw you the error earlier. So the main error, which is like, I have noted it down, just give me a second, I'll tell you. It was like something type error. We cannot read the properties of this undefined, something like that you'll get. Now coming here, it is still publishing. So go to the form and go to form properties. You can either access your JavaScript from here, or you can go to your web resources, and from there also you can modify. Anything is fine. So now coming here, let's just rename this, remove this code, put it, and in that, let's give it as 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, just to check that new code is reflecting here. Click on OK, click on save. Now right now I cannot publish it, because at the same time I think Ribbon Workbench, this one is also publishing one solution. Okay, so it may take 1 or 2 minutes. I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so it got published very fastly. Okay, now let's come here. We need to publish our web resource as well. Click on publish. So now what we have done is, first we have added the primary control in our crm parameter here. Okay, and now we are passing the same primary control in our JavaScript as well here. Okay, so now I think it's going to work. That's the main point of making this video. So now if I come here, I think this is published. If I go to refresh it, let's enable the developer mode. As soon as the form load, okay, let me just remove this one. So in the console now, function what do we invoked? Okay, see in the console it is still showing 1 2 3 only, but we have changed it to 1 2 3 4 5. So let me just refresh it. This is how you check in the developer mode whether the latest code is reflecting or not. Okay, so let me go to the console. 1 2 3 4 5, yes, it is executing. Click on play. Now error checking the details. So earlier we were getting the details in what? We were getting the details when the same function was getting triggered from invoked from the Ribbon Workbench. Now here on the form on load, if you see here, it is showing that what checking fields type error primary control dot get attribute is not a function. Okay, it is not working on this function anyhow. We do not care it. We want to trigger it from the Ribbon Workbench only. So now if I come here in the tab and if I select any of this record, at that time it should give me an option to link unlink, and that time it should unlink that contact from that account. Okay, if I click on this one, again it is triggering. Okay, let's see whether it is passing the value or not. Last time it was not, it was showing everything as undefined. So if I go to next, next, now you can see that it is getting the form context, it is getting this primary control, it is getting this, it is showing the account status, everything, it is working fine. Okay, just click on next. What it is returning, not returning, everything you'll come to know. Now if I play this one, I think it is going to ask, you just close this one. If I click on this unlink button is not getting visible. Okay, that's the main logic. If the account status is closed, that is 490, this is the value. If it is closed, then this button should not be visible. If I come here and if I change it to active, okay, click on save. Let's come to this tab, click on this one. Now this button is getting visible. Again, one more thing, if I select two records, this is not getting visible. Both the conditions are met perfectly. Now if I come here and click on unlink, are you sure you want to deselect this record? Okay, and this is going to remove whatever it's going to remove from the subgrid of this account entity. Deselected, refresh the form. Okay, this is working perfectly. So in the first video, in the previous video here, what we had done was on the click of this button, close this, what is this? Okay, on the click of this, but if by selecting any record, we were showing and hiding this button, and then we were unlinking two custom tables. Okay, and in this video we added the conditions for showing the video only when at least one record is selected, and based on the field value, either it can be, let's say here, instead of this summary we have, right, we are having this head account status here. In case if this you want to select, make a condition like if the annual revenue is more than 35,000 or 38,000, whatever, you can do it from that only. So based on this field value, we are going to show the option of link and unlink button here. That's all. If you have any doubt or anything, just put in the comment. I'll get back to you. Thank you so much.